Hey everyone, welcome back to M&M IELTS. This is Manmohit. Now guys, in today's video, I am going to share with you all few of the mistakes, the major mistakes that students make in their IELTS writing module, which kind of hinder their chances of getting their desired band score, whether it's 7, 8 or 9, whatever band score they're desiring for, becomes difficult for them to get in the writing module. So understand what these mistakes are, because you may not be making all of them, but maybe there is a slight chance you may be making at least one of them, which is causing that issue. Without wasting any further ado, let's dive right into it. Right, so the first one is not making enough paragraphs. Now, there is no set pattern given by the IELTS writing section that you have to make 3 paragraphs, 4 paragraphs, 5 paragraphs or anything. What they actually want to see in order for them to give you a higher band score is that are you capable of making a new paragraph when you introduce something new or not? Right now, they do say on their website that it has to be at least 3 paragraphs, because if it's less than 3, that simply means that you're not covering everything that was asked in the question. So minimum 3 they do recommend, but then there's no limit as to you have to make sure it's 3, but at least 3 paragraphs should be there. I recommend to have 4 paragraphs. Again, you can even have 5 paragraphs, you can even have 3 paragraphs, but if you type anything or if you write anything less than 3 paragraphs, if you just put everything in 2 paragraphs, either you forgot to, or either you did not put a correct paragraph wherever it was required, or you simply just missed one part of the question. If a question says one statement or the other statement and then it says give your opinion, that is already 3 parts of the question. So I'll explain about one statement in one paragraph, second statement in the second paragraph, and I'll give my opinion in the third paragraph. So that means minimum has to be 3 paragraphs anyway. So always make sure of the paragraphs, because it doesn't matter how good of an English you have written in the IELTS writing essay or even the first topic. If you haven't made enough paragraphs, you cannot get a great band score for that one. Next one is not covering the entire question. Like I just said now, that if they have given you 3 questions or 4 parts of the question in the topic and you only cover few of them, let's say they asked you 3 things but you have only covered 2, simply means that you did not cover the entire question, so you do lose band score on that. If they gave you one statement and gave you another statement and asked you to give and they asked you to discuss both of the views and give your opinion, that means I have to discuss about one in one paragraph, another in another paragraph, and give my opinion at the end. They can even ask you 4 different things. It just depends on what the question was. Sometimes in the question they may say, they'll give you, let's say a problem, like deforestation is increasing every single day, something like this. And then the question says, discuss the problems associated with that. If you look at the word plural, problems, there's an S at the back. That means they want us to discuss multiple problems and not just one. These are the little hints that they would be giving you. It is your job in the exam to pick up those hints and make sure that you do not kind of, miss any part of the questions and you cover every single thing that is being asked in there. Next one, not giving clear opinion. If they have that in the question where they ask you discuss or give your opinion, they actually want to see your opinion on that. I've seen many students, what they do is they'll just give a very let's say translucent kind of opinion. They'll just say, I think so, this is this, but I also think that this is this. Or they'll say, I think that this is beneficial, but also I think that there are some drawbacks of the same thing, right? No, what they want to see is your actual opinion. So you have to either support one or you have to either support the other. One way or the other, you have to pick one thing and go with that. I'm not saying you don't have to explain both things in the other paragraphs. Yes, you can use the other paragraphs to give benefits of one, drawbacks of the same thing. But in the last paragraph, you make sure you give your opinion, because that's what they're asking for. Next one is, okay, using a memorized template. Guys, this is a completely different exam to the PTE exam, which is out there. We know a template works in there. Like you can memorize a set structure. You can type it down exactly word by word. You add a couple of ideas from your side and you can still get a full score in the PTE exam. This is not the case with the IELTS, unfortunately. They actually want to see how good of a command do you have over the English language. If you use a memorized template or a structure and then go and type it down, yes, even if you include your own ideas, these are real human being examiners that are going to check your exam, not a computer or anything, right? If a human being sees that you have used a memorized template, they'll find that out right away. And the moment they do that, doesn't matter how good of the English you have written down, doesn't matter how good of a vocabulary was there, they cannot give you more than 5.5 or 6. Like, there's no way they can give you more than that, because they are bound by their restrictions. They cannot give more than that, because that is not something which you created on the spot. That is something which you memorized. Now, you can memorize a couple of vocabulary words beforehand, couple of phrasal verbs, couple of sentences, phrases, which you can use just to kind of have a good flow and a complex flow of your sentences. But if you memorize the complete structure, that is when the problem starts. Next one is not giving examples, research, or surveys. Just talking about the examples. Now, let's say you introduce something new, you gave an idea, but then you did not support it by giving an example. Doesn't matter how great of an idea that was, if that is not supported by an example, something like as per the research or as per the survey done in so and so year. If you do not give an example, according to examiner, you did not complete your answer, or that was not a great response for that question that was asked to you. So you definitely lose a good amount of band score over there. So what you have to do is, now even if you do not know the correct numbers, even if you're not sure of the survey or research that was actually done for the topic, that does not matter. The examiner is not going to cross-check your facts on Google and just to see, okay, whatever this person has said, does that actually holds the correct information? Is that a true fact? No, they don't worry about and care about that. They just want to see that have you covered the basics of, have you used an example or not? Are you using those as per the research? 27% of so and so, are you using these kind of sentences or not? Because they will improve your band score a lot. Next one is a basic one, which is spelling mistakes, or the most common, which I would say is the typo errors. Now, spelling mistakes, I can understand that if you come across certain words. Now again, spelling mistake is something that can be avoided. I've seen students, what they do is they tend to use those words which they just read somewhere, but they're not even sure of the application and they're not sure of the spellings of those words. Avoid using those words, because if you write or type that word down and if the spelling is wrong, you automatically lose marks for that. So that word is not gaining you additional marks. I will only write down those words if I'm absolutely sure of what the correct spelling is. Otherwise, I'll refrain from doing that. And typo errors. When you type down your essay, or if you have written down your essay, always and always double, triple check for proofread every single paragraph, every single word, to make sure if you haven't made any sort of typo error. Especially with typing, that is very common. For example, the word is the, T-H-E, and you by mistakenly wrote it as T-E-H, or you put it as T-H-E-E. By mistakenly, you just clicked another key or something, and with that, it was just a typo error. If you do not proofread and you just leave it like that, doesn't matter how good of the response you provided, because there was a spelling mistake, you will lose marks for that. And if you do not get your desired scores, afterwards you will be in a dilemma, like what exactly happened, what went wrong. This could be another mistake that you might be making which you're not aware of. But from now on, try to finish your essay at least 5 to 10 minutes before, and then use those 5 to 10 minutes to proofread every single word out of it. And last but not the least is having the incorrect essay format. Now, what does incorrect essay format means? The basic structure, I would say, would be giving an introduction, giving a body paragraph, could be one paragraph, or giving two separate body paragraphs, body 1 and body 2, and then giving a conclusion. Some students, what they would do is they'll type down the entire essay in some bullet points. So giving bullet point number 1, bullet point number 2, and so on. Or they do not give introduction, they straight away jump to the body paragraph and then at the end give the conclusion. Or they may give the conclusion at the very top, then give a body paragraph, then introduce something new. So that means it is not in the correct format. Again, avoid doing that. The correct and the basic structure would be starting with the introduction of the essay, giving a body paragraph, could be one paragraph, could be two paragraphs, it again depends upon you, and then concluding the essay at the very end. Conclusion can be depending on the type of essay. If it's an opinion based essay, you can give your opinion in that. If it's a problem solution essay, you can give a solution in that. If it's two topic essay, you can kind of just discuss one thing or the other, whichever you were in favor of. So it all depends on the essay, but you have to make sure that you follow the correct formatting of the essay. Only then you can make sure that you can get your desired band score. I hope this video was helpful. If you have any sort of questions, do make sure you leave them down in the comment section below. If you want to request certain type of content, let's say you're struggling in this topic or that topic or this thing or that thing, you can again leave them down in the comment section below, and we can make a video on those topics first as compared to what we have got planned. All the best if you have got your exams coming soon. Stay safe, and I'll see you all in the next video.